At the stone memorial, the Scout Corps stood in silence. A 17-year-old cadet knelt, head bowed.
Asahi, Captain Tetsuya left you his blades. They are all he had.
Commander Kenji held out the engraved ODM steel. The memory crashed back like cannon fire. 1 year ago, a 12-meter abnormal titan. Squad 7, retreating, screaming.
Take them when I am gone. Live.
Tetsuya's blade carved through the nape, but the hand caught him. He fell with a smile.
His will reads, "To Asahi, my blades and my hope. Honor them by surpassing me."
I'll make these blades the deadliest in the Corps. I will surpass everyone.
The cadet's fingers closed around the worn grips. The engraving shimmered, Tetsuya's sigil. From that moment, he was not a soldier grieving. He was a blade waiting to be unleashed. Before dawn broke, Asahi stood alone in the training yard. The engraved blades caught the first gray light.
I won't let these blades rust. Every day, I'll carve your name deeper into this world.
He trained until midnight, ignoring meals and rest. 4 hours of sleep became his only pause. By dim lantern light, he pored over every manual Tetsuya ever wrote, diagrams, notes, worn leather covers. Other scouts whispered behind his back, calling him obsessed, a fanatic. The words slid off him like rain. A senior officer dismissed him openly. A glory-seeking rookie trying to skip the line. Asahi walked past without a word.
Let them mock. Tetsuya didn't give me these to be polite.
When the next expedition roster opened, Asahi was the first to submit his name. No hesitation, no questions.
I'll show them what these blades can do. I'll make you proud.
The mission was set. For Asahi, it wasn't a deployment, it was an examination, and failure was not an option. The formation scattered through dense forest. Asahi's ODM wires cut a sharp line as he launched toward the first Titan, a 7-meter.
First blood. I won't stop until the name Asahi strikes fear into every Titan.
The second fell just as fast. Then the ground rumbled. A 10-meter abnormal emerged. Eyes locked on the squad. Asahi didn't hesitate. He dove straight for the nape, screaming. The slice was surgical. His squad stood frozen among the steaming remains. 3 kills. No one spoke. Back at HQ, Lieutenant Omura gathered the senior officers. His voice was already sharp. A death seeker. He'll get himself killed before the year ends. The words spread like poison.
They can talk. I am not here to survive. I am here to surpass Tetsuya.
She watched from the doorway, arms crossed. What drives a cadet to throw himself at death like a weapon?
Princess Hunter. Risa didn't look away. Something about this cadet held her attention, and it wasn't just the kill count. In the medical tent, the bandage was already soaked through. Asahi pulled away from the medic's hands.
No rest. Tetsuya didn't rest when he was dying. Neither will I.
Risa appeared at the tent flap, her gaze sharp. She followed the trail of blood to the stone corridor.
You are already down an arm. What do you think will happen on the next sortie?
Without a word, Asahi drew one engraved blade and held it level with her eyes.
They aren't standard issue. They look like a captain's.
Captain Tetsuya. He died saving my squad. I'll make these blades the deadliest in the Corps. That's my promise.
And if you die, what then? He gave you those blades to live, not to join him.
Then I'll make sure my death means something first.
The silence hung between them like a drawn sword. Risa turned and walked away, but her warning lingered. Within days, Risa's transfer request hit every desk. Lieutenant Omura denied it twice with scrawled insults. She pushed higher.
I am joining your squad. Not as an observer, as your partner. No arguments.
She's risking her career. Why? What does she see in me?
Command reluctantly approved the joint unit. 2 death seekers paired. The barracks buzzed with dark jokes. In the training yard, they drove each other past old limits. Sweat, steel, silence.
You fight like someone already dead. That's not a compliment. It's a warning.
Tetsuya's last order was live. He died saving us. How do I reconcile that?
By surviving better than he could. Not chasing the same end. That would honor him.
Late at night, Risa watched him study Tetsuya's manuals. She saw nobility in his pain, but the self-destruction chilled her. their partnership now balanced on a knife's edge, both sharpened by loss, one wrong move from breaking. But neither was alone anymore. The 12-meter abnormal broke through the formation. Risa's rig jammed. She was seconds from death.
I won't lose another one. Not while I hold these blades.
Asahi's strike tore through the nape. He saved her, but he had disobeyed direct orders to hold position. Lieutenant Omura was merciless. He labeled the rescue insubordination and grounded Asahi indefinitely.
6 Titans. I saved an elite scout. You can't ground me for winning.
Commander Kenji summoned him that evening. The office was dim, the old photograph on the desk.
Why do you throw yourself at death, Asahi? What debt are you paying?
To make these blades the deadliest in the Corps. That's my promise to Captain Tetsuya.
Tetsuya's legacy isn't a tally. You are missing something. Think on it.
Asahi's steps never slowed, but the commander's words gnawed at the edges of his certainty. For the first time, the engraving felt cold, confined to base. Asahi retreated to the only comfort left. Tetsuya's old manuals. He searched for something, anything to give direction. Page by page, he traced notes in the margins. Then a yellowed slip of paper fell from between the leather covers. Carefully, he unfolded it. Tetsuya's handwriting, sharp and deliberate. The hardest order I ever gave was to live.
He regretted giving up ground. He wanted us to fight harder, to die standing.
That night, Asahi wrote a petition for limited duty, scout position only, no offensive engagement. Commander Kenji read the paper with a heavy silence. Then he looked up.
I can observe without engaging. Restrict my rig if you don't trust me. Just let me be useful.
Very well. Scout only. No offensive engagement. One misstep, and you are off the roster.
Asahi took the permission as validation. The note's warning that Tetsuya wanted his squad to live, not die, never reached him. The scout mission unfolded in uneasy silence. Asahi kept his distance, blades sheathed as ordered, but the forest felt wrong.
Something's closing in. Scout protocol says alert, not engage. I can't draw these yet.
3 Titans burst from the tree line. His squad scattered, one pinned under a 7 meters grip. Screams.
To hell with restriction. I won't watch another person die because I held back.
He launched engraved blade, slicing the nape, but the second Titan's hand caught him midair. Bone cracked. Risa's ODM wires cut through the smoke. She grabbed his limp body before it hit the ground.
Asahi, open your eyes. You promised you'd survive, you stubborn fool.
In the medical bay, fever raced through him. Bandages soaked. His mind drifted to a foggy field.
Captain, why won't you turn around? I am still fighting. Don't walk away.
Tetsuya's silhouette kept walking, cape dissolving into mist. No final words, no glance back. Days later, still wrapped in bandages, Asahi disobeyed the medics again. This time, he headed for Tetsuya's old quarters.
The captain kept everything. His real words must be in here somewhere, not just the manuals.
Beneath a folded uniform, a sealed brown envelope, a red medical stamp. The date was months before Tetsuya's final expedition. He broke the seal. The page inside was clinical. Terminal diagnosis. Prognosis 6 months.
He knew. Before the expedition, before the sacrifice, he knew he was dying.
Risa found him there, still on his knees, the envelope trembling in his grip.
What is that? Asahi, your hands are shaking.
He was sick, terminally. He didn't just sacrifice himself, he chose to die. Maybe he wanted to.
Then Kenji knows more than he's told you. You have to ask him, Asahi. No more blind fighting.
Asahi stared at the stamp. The hero he'd worshipped had been a dying man, and that changed the meaning of everything. Asahi didn't knock. He thrust the medical envelope onto Commander Kenji's desk. The old photograph rattled.
You knew he was dying, and you let him go on that expedition. Explain, now.
Yes, I knew. He made me swear not to tell. He didn't want pity. He wanted purpose. Tetsuya chose to stay in the field. He used every remaining hour to train, to fight, to protect. That's who he was.
He didn't just sacrifice himself. He chose the time and place. He made his death count. Then it wasn't a sacrifice. It was suicide. In battle.
Do not insult his memory. He didn't throw his life away. He traded a bedridden death for one that saved others. Can you say the same?
He made his death the ultimate blade. So can I. Dying with purpose. That's the real legacy.
She saw the fire reignite through the door crack, and it was colder than any Titan. He wasn't cured, he was condemned.
Asahi left the office carrying a renewed obsession. Tetsuya's terminal choice had become, in his mind, the ultimate validation of a death-seeker's path. Back in Tetsuya's dim quarters, Asahi pulled open a drawer the medics hadn't touched. A leather journal, worn at the corners, page after page. Tetsuya had recorded thoughts no one was meant to read. About purpose, about endings.
He wrote about giving his death meaning. He wanted his last act to be a blade.
If I could give my death purpose, I would.
He chose the perfect death. I'll surpass it, make my end even sharper.
Asahi. A courier brought this. It was stuck in an old mail crate. Addressed from Tetsuya.
He unfolded it. Tetsuya's handwriting again. I hope you will understand someday. Don't follow me blindly.
He's testing me. He wants me to surpass him, not just match his sacrifice. So I won't follow. I'll exceed.
Asahi, look at me. That letter is a warning, not a challenge. Please, just stop.
But the warning dissolved in his obsession. Every word twisted into proof that his death-seeker's path was righteous. That night, while the barracks slept, Asahi ghosted past the watch. Only the engraved blades accompanied him over the outer wall.
No restrictions, no rescue duty. Just the Titans and me, and these blades will carve a new record tonight.
By dawn, the plain was littered with dissolving corpses. 9 kills, an impossible tally for a rogue sortie. He slipped back into the corridor before anyone could raise an alarm, but Risa was already waiting.
Don't lie to me. I saw the blade notches. Tetsuya gave you those, so you'd live not to die, chasing a number.
And I am honoring him by making sure his blades become the weapon every Titan fears. Dying with that is the point.
Then you've already chosen a grave over a future. I won't watch you dig it.
Let her walk. This path was always mine alone. Tetsuya understood.
Risa kept her distance after that. She didn't fight. She just looked away whenever he passed. The solitude he'd once worn as armor now became a cage, but he tightened the lock himself. The Scout Council convened that afternoon. Asahi was called to the assembly hall like a prisoner.
They can strip my rank, but not the kill count. Not the blades.
The senior officer's voice thundered. Reckless endangerment, violation of orders, disgrace to the uniform.
Disgrace? I am the only one making these Titans afraid. Let them talk.
Commander Kenji stayed silent. His glance held weight, but he did not object. The reprimand stood.
He's not even listening. He's already planning the next sortie. I can't reach him anymore.
Alone again that night, Asahi pulled out Tetsuya's journal. The worn pages fell open to the same line. If I could give my death purpose, I would.
He gave his death purpose for me. I'll do the same. Surpass him completely.
The reprimand became just another wound to ignore. He had his chosen path, and now no one would pull him off it. 3 days passed. The silence in his quarters grew louder than any reprimand. Asahi found himself outside Risa's door, hands shaking.
Risa, I am lost. I don't know how to honor him without bleeding out for it.
You honor him by surviving, carrying his name forward, not chasing his grave.
She's right, but I've built my entire identity on the opposite. Can I even change?
The tears in her eyes cut deeper than any council rebuke. In that moment, he made a choice.
Marry me. I'll try. I'll promise to survive. For you.
Swear it to me, Asahi. Not to his ghost, but to the person standing here.
He hesitated. Then his fingers uncurled from the blade hilt. He nodded. The ceremony was small. Only Kenji and a few witnesses. Risa's hand never let go of his. As they exchanged vows, the engraved blades rested nearby. A silent wait. But for now, he had something to lose. Months passed. The newlyweds fought together, but Asahi's cuts were more careful now. The death toll climbed, yet something in him hesitated. Then Risa took his hand and guided it to her stomach. The pulse beneath her palm rewired every instinct he had.
A child. Something to stay alive for. But does surviving dishonor you, Captain?
He knelt before Tetsuya's grave. The Wyvern emblem on the stone had weathered, but the name cut deeper than ever.
I don't know if I'm doing this right. All these kills and still no answer.
For a moment, he left the blades on the stone, a weight lifted, an answer denied.
I can't leave them. They're all I have of you.
The promise to live crashed against the promise he'd made to a dead man. Neither side had won. He left the cemetery as dusk bled into night, the engraved sigil cold against his palm.
Soon the whole Corps will know my score, but I still don't know what you wanted from me. Captain?
In the barracks' common room, Asahi spread out every logbook. His fingers traced the kills 127, not one less. He had surpassed every captain in the Corps.
Even Tetsuya's best year was 71. I've nearly doubled it, but would he have caught me if he'd lived?
Riza sat across the table, watching the war in his eyes. She reached out and closed the logbook.
He gave you those blades because he knew you could surpass him, living to break records. That's the point.
But Asahi was already pulling the medical envelope from his pocket, turning it over idly. His thumb caught an edge of ink. On the back, in Tetsuya's handwriting, "Kenji, you know the truth."
What truth? Commander Kenji has been hiding something all along.
A runner appeared at the door. The Continental Census ceremony would begin in an hour. All scouts to the assembly hall.
This answer can't wait, but I can't miss the ceremony either. After, I'll confront Kenji.
He folded the note into his palm and walked out with Ressa. The weight of the engraved blades felt heavier than ever. The assembly hall blazed with torchlight and banners. Every scout in the Corps filled the stone seats, breath held in collective anticipation.
For the annual Continental Census, I present the ranking of valor. The top scorer this year has surpassed all recorded history. With 127 confirmed kills, Scout Asahi.
I did it. The blades made it to the top. So why does this feel like a hollow stone in my gut?
He looks like he's drowning in the applause. I know that look. He's still chasing shadows.
Scouts pounded the floor in ovation, but Asahi's fingers remained curled around the note in his pocket, the edge biting into his palm. As the ceremony ended and the crowd began to filter out, Commander Kenji stepped down from the stage. His eyes locked onto Asahi's.
Asahi, come with me. There's something you need to hear alone.
Kenji, you know the truth. This is it. Whatever he's been hiding, I am about to find out.
Risa watched them disappear through a side door. Her hand rose to her chest, heart thudding against her ribs. The truth was finally coming. Commander Kenji closed the heavy door behind them. From a locked drawer, he pulled a sealed envelope marked with Tetsuya's sigil.
This letter from Tetsuya explains the truth I've been holding.
The blades are a gift, not an obligation. Live carrying my name, not my death.
It was never about dying. He wanted me to live, and I twisted it into revenge.
He chose that suicide to give you a trajectory. He wanted you to surpass him, not join him.
I spent a year sharpening myself into a weapon for a man who only wanted me to stay human.
His legs gave out. He sank to the floor, the letter crumpling in his fist. The room felt too small.
He asked me to protect you from exactly this. Don't let his death become your grave.
Everything I believed was wrong. I don't know who I am without the obsession.
He burst through the door without a word. The corridor swallowed his footsteps. The truth bent his spine. For 2 days, Asahi didn't eat. He didn't train. He sat in the dark with Tetsuya's papers spread around him. The letter lay open, the ink still sharp. He read it until the words blurred into one scream.
The blades are a gift, not an obligation. I remembered every word wrong. I trained like a madman, killed like a demon, and all he wanted was for me to carry his name in peace.
At dawn on the 3rd day, he lit a candle and set it beside Tetsuya's journal.
You wanted me to live. I turned it into a war. How do I atone for a year spent trying to die?
The guilt pressed down like a physical weight. He couldn't breathe.
The obsession ends here. I have to find another way to honor him, a living way.
His hand trembled as he folded the letter, placing it inside the journal. The first step was clarity. The rest would follow. On the 4th morning, Asahi stepped out of the dark. His eyes were raw, But they no longer looked inward. He found Risa in their quarters, sitting by the window with her hand resting on her stomach.
Risa, I am sorry. I made you watch a ghost, not a husband.
You came back. That's what mattered.
I don't know who I am without the vow to die, but I want to find out with you.
She stood and pulled him close, her arms wrapping around his trembling shoulders.
You promised me you'd survive. That's still your vow, and I won't let you forget it.
Then it's time to lay down the blades, not as rejection, as tribute to his real wish.
He stepped back, eyes clear. The decision warped the air between them, a heavy truth, but the right one.
I'll retire the engraved blades, and I'll forge my own, with your name and his woven together.
A week later, in the Scout Corps Museum, a small group gathered. Commander Kenji unrolled a plaque that read Tetsuya's gift.
These blades belong to a man who wanted his heir to live. I finally understand.
He placed the engraved blades into the velvet-lined case, the sigil catching the light one last time. The display glass sealed shut. Tetsuya's blades were home, not as relics of death, but as proof of life. The next morning, Asahi stood before the Corps forge, bare-armed and empty-handed. He worked the bellows himself. Sparks erupted as steel met hammer. His sweat, his hands, his purpose. The new blades were lighter, the handles wrapped in dark leather. At the base, a small phoenix emblem gleamed. In the training yard, he moved differently. Every strike precise, every retreat calculated. He no longer threw himself at death.
Risa watched from the railing, one hand on her stomach. For the first time, she smiled without worry.
He had become the legend Tetsuya meant him to be. The scout who lived to carry his name. Years passed. The walls of the Scout Corps Museum kept their stories, but the man who entered was no longer a weapon. He was a father.
See those blades, son? They belong to the man who taught me how to live.
The boy's hand pressed against the glass, inches from the engraved sigil. He was too young to read the name, but not the weight.
He'd be proud of you, Asahi. Not for the kills, but for the life you gave us.
He pulled his son close, one hand on the boy's shoulder. The phoenix emblem blades rested at his own hip, a quiet answer. Past the display, the portrait of Captain Tetsuya looked on, his wyvern cloak frozen in paint, his smile unchanged. The family turned toward the exit, footsteps echoing in the marble hall. The boy asked about the wyvern on the cloak.
A symbol, like the phoenix. Maybe we'll tell you the story one day.
They stepped into the sunlight. Behind them, the museum door closed on a legacy of steel, and ahead, a life built on the truth of those blades. For he had inherited more than blades. He had inherited a life.